How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of Jason's Realm here, and today I am here bringing you guys our official Week 16 NFL Power Rankings. Now, I know last week a couple of you guys commented saying that the Niners were too low. I think we kind of fixed that a little bit this week. I mean, they didn't look the greatest, but they did manage to get the win. So, little spoiler alert, they did move up the list. But I guess we'll just go ahead and dive right into this. So at number 10, we have the Baltimore Ravens falling 2 spots after losing to the Cleveland Browns, mostly because I would suspect Lamar Jackson will be back soon. So I don't want to drop him off the list because once Lamar is back, they're going to be back full cylinders fire. But right now, they're kind of in that struggling phase because they don't really have a backup to Lamar. Tyler Huntley, he's a backup. That's all he is. He's not your... This is going to be our guy that's going to go in and do some damage in relief. He's your guy that's going to say, okay, we're going to try to do something with you, but we're not going to be building a game plan to fit what you need. So that's where they kind of struggle. At number 9, we have the Miami Dolphins jumping up from being not ranked last week despite losing to the Buffalo Bills. This is because the Dolphins looked a lot more like the Dolphins we saw early in the season than they had the previous couple weeks. They looked a lot better. And that being said, they're looking better, and if they can keep this up, they can potentially make a playoff push. They're not out of the picture yet. Like, if I pull up the picture now, I mean, they're sitting at number 7. They're a game ahead of the Patriots. So, they're still well within the picture if they can manage to get things going. Also, I'll take a little break from the action here. I will probably be releasing a video on Friday this week. It will probably be a video more so about the playoff clinching scenarios and elimination scenarios, as I went through all of those today, and man, this thing is a long list for Week 16. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 teams can be either eliminated or can clinch the playoffs or can clinch a specific seed or clinch their division this week. It's going to be an active week with a lot to break down. So I think we'll go ahead and do a video on that on Friday. So stay tuned. It's going to kind of make up for this week being rough. But anyway, at number 8, we have the Los Angeles Chargers rising up 1 spot from last week. After looking all right, managing to beat the Titans, doing their thing. They should be a safe playoff team at this point. They can't clinch this week, but they can really put themselves in a good spot. Well, actually, no, they can clinch a playoff berth. They need to win and have the Jets, Pats, and Raiders all lose. So they can clinch a playoff berth this week. But meanwhile, we'll go ahead up to number 7, who is the Minnesota Vikings, falling 1 spot from last week. Despite the fact they had a major comeback, they did fall because some teams did have to fall in order to move the Niners up to where they probably should be, given the way things are right now. So it's not a knock against them. It's more about the fact that the Niners were able to play some decent ball. So Vikings should be really set for the playoffs. They should have a really good shot at making some damage. I mean, right now they're although they are the 4th highest NFC team on this list. Well, at number 6, we have the Detroit Lions also falling 1 spot despite the victory against the Jets. Once again, this is more so a move to make room for the Niners as opposed to a knock on the Lions. They are a hard-fighting team. They can really go toe-to-toe with a lot of teams in this league now. I didn't think I'd ever be saying this, but dare I say the Lions are potential dark horse Cinderella Super Bowl contenders? Maybe? I mean, they're playing like they can. Goff is playing like his 2018 form that managed to get that Rams team in the Super Bowl. I mean, do I think they're going to do it? Realistically, not. I mean, the way things stand, they'll probably be the number 7 seed. They'll probably be going up against the number 2 seed, which is more than likely going to be the Vikings. So they could probably beat the Vikings, but then they're going to be the number 7 seed going up against the Eagles. That's not going to be fun. They can get the 6th seed if the Giants really collapse, and that's where I see them potentially making a run. They'd play the Niners first, and then potentially playing the Vikings, assuming the Vikings win their game, or potentially, But I just realistically think that in order to have a shot, the 4 seed needs to upset. So the Bucs would need to upset the Cowboys and maybe beat the Eagles. Or the Cowboys need to win and face the Eagles, which won't happen. You need the 7 seed to beat the Eagles. But either way, I've spent too much time on the Lions just talking about them, but I'm really high on them. They are playing really good football. Meanwhile, at number 5, we have the San Francisco 49ers rising 2 spots. Despite barely winning, they did clinch a playoff berth this last week. They're playing some decent football under Brock Purdy, and Garoppolo could be back for the playoffs, potentially, I think I saw. So maybe he could make it. I'm not sure, but maybe. But yeah, Garoppolo playing some decent football, so we'll get to see, well, not Garoppolo, but Purdy playing some decent football, so we'll have to see how they fare in the next couple weeks. At number 4, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, unchanged from last week, as they did manage to get a win over the Buccaneers, but I can't quite put them over the Chiefs or Bills just yet. Not just yet. Give it a couple weeks and maybe. But the Bengals are looking pretty solid going into these playoffs. At number 3, we have the Kansas City Chiefs falling 1 spot as they almost lost to the Texans, but the Texans have been a dark horse team these past couple weeks. I might unironically pick them to win this week because they are playing some really good football right now against some really good teams. So they're going to win one of these next couple games. Who do they play this week? Let's check. The Texans. Because they're playing some really good football. They're playing the Titans. That's probably a win, realistically. But anyway, the Chiefs playing some pretty solid football. You can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. But they did fall 1 spot as they did have an unconvincing win. Compared to the number 2, who's, speaking of which, number 2 is the Buffalo Bills, clinching themselves a playoff berth and the division with a win over the Dolphins this week, playing some real good football, looking like a really solid team. So I think legitimately this team could be the AFC representative at this point. There were a couple weeks where I was doubting it, maybe saying the Chiefs would, or the Bengals, or the Chargers even, or the Dolphins. But realistically now, the Bills are that front runner again. Starting to play some decent football, but it's going to be interesting to see how Josh Allen and the Bills have been playing. Josh Allen has not been the same with his throwing arm ever since the elbow injury. So there are some concerns there about a potential deep playoff run. Well, let's just go ahead and jump up to the number 1 spot where we got the Philadelphia Eagles maintaining that 1 spot again as they are just cruising. They almost lost to the Bears, but that's not enough for us to move them out of first. They had to play a Gardner Minshew in the game, I think, because Hurts was injured. So the Eagles are getting the job done. And this week they can clinch the number 1 seed. In order for them to do that, they need a win. If they win, they clinch it. If they lose, then they can't do it this week because, the Vikings exist. But you could see the Eagles clinch a playoff berth and clinch the first seed and the division with a win. But yeah, that is our official Week 16 power rankings. And for those of you guys who don't know, before you guys get yourselves in a little tizzy down there in the comments about who's too low, we do want to hear who you think is too low. But remember, this is a compilation of 4 power rankings added together. So not all my opinion, not all PDF's opinion, not all David's opinion, not all HD's opinion. We all have some say in this, and that's how it is made. But obviously, we need to make these make sense as well. We're not going to put the Houston Texans at number 1. So either way, I guess at this point, I'm babbling on too much. Let's just go ahead and close out this video. We don't got much else to say. And if you're still watching, I think you probably enjoy our content. So why not smash that subscribe and smash that like button? It helps us out a whole lot. And we will be releasing a public Discord server when we reach 200 subscribers. At the time of recording this, we are only 21 clicks away. So if 21 of you guys click that button, that would be huge. And also, if you guys want to keep on watching content from us, this video right over here is something that YouTube thinks you should watch. So why not go check it out while you're watching us? And I guess we'll see you guys later. We'll see you guys tomorrow for predictions. Peace out and have a good one.